After a game where you had multiple turnovers, do you have to go into the next week with a heightened awareness of that, or do you try not to make more of it and just keep your preparation the same?
I think it's more so reasons as to why it happens, right? You look at the play for what it is. You look at the timing of it. Was that the right timing? Was I playing in the right timing of that play, or not? There's a lot of them where I should have progressed, but didn't. That's what my feet had told me to do, but didn't do that. So I think it's one of those where it's trust your technique, trust your footwork, and then you just go through your progression in that sense.
How frustrating is it to watch and go back and see things that you could have done differently? Were they easy remedies, I guess? Is it something that you think that's easy to bounce back from what you saw?
Well, I would say those are definitely correctable. More often than not, it's just trusting the training and not trying to go out there and make a play on every play if that's not what the defense is allowing to happen. So.
Tua, Mike was talking about guys were trying to make plays, but were not basically in the right spots, kind of not playing to the scheme. As a leader of this team, how do you make sure that everybody on offense is where they need to be pre-snap and running the right routes and doing their responsibilities?
Well, I got the offense together and we had a meeting about things that we wanted to do to hang our hats on this week, points of emphasis, and how we want to go about it this week. So we got all of that communicated to those guys. So that's what we got.
So you said after the game that you were definitely curious who would be showing up to film session on the off day Tuesday. Mm-hmm. You see the people that you wanted to see?
Yeah, no, I thought that was the cool thing is that was their process going into week one. Win, lose, like you got to see a lot of the same guys, back in the film room, back in the meeting rooms. And, I thought that was a cool thing.
Tua, after the game the other day, there was an exchange that got a lot of traction on social media regarding the turnovers and bunches thing. Mm-hmm. Now that you've had time to think about it, do you stand by what you said, or is there anything you would like to modify?
Well, saying what? I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, your quote, I believe, was something to the effect of how you didn't get that you would be asked why you turned the ball over in bunches.
That I said it was crazy that I turned the ball over in bunches?
You were questioning why you were being asked that question.
I don't think I questioned it. I thought I said it was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's two different things with questioning it. But it's not like I look to go out there and throw interceptions, It's not like we look to go and turn the ball over or, fail on a certain play. So, yeah.
So I guess my question really is, though, your reaction that is crazy, is you stand by that, then I take it?
Well, yeah, I just answered that. I just said I'm not looking to go out there and throw interceptions. We're looking to go out there and complete passes, get the right plays. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else you want me to answer that. So.
Another thing that gained a lot of traction was Xavier Howard, your former teammate, saying, once we take away his first read, I feel like it's panic mode after that. Mm-hmm. Do you have any reaction to your former teammate playing against him this time saying that?
Yeah, well, I got to talk to him after the game. Still got a lot of respect for him. I think if you look at the games where I have performed and done well, it's when I'm also getting off of my first read and, progressing or going through the progressions. Kind of like what my feed is, telling me. So playing in that sense.
So you earned your fourth gold star honor or captain patch this year, 1 year away from getting your gold patch. In what ways do you think you've grown most as a leader since your first season as a captain? How does that show up after a tough loss, after the opener?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it has to do with communication, what you want out of the guys, what the guys should expect from you coming into a game like this week, prior to the game that happened, from the performance that I put out there. Obviously, it starts with me, but with those guys, just communicating to them what our expectation is going into this week and being able to move forward from that. At 17, We got 17 games that were, guaranteed. That was one of them. It's a long season ahead.
What you said about that, 'cause, you said you got a chance to talk to him. What was that conversation like? Was it just to kind of clear the air or see where he was
Nah.
coming from, or what was that like?
No, it was just saying hi to an old friend. I mean, I got to see him after the game. Got to talk to him a little bit during the game as well, but that's all it was.
It wasn't about those comments you're saying? The
No,
comments-
I didn't even know he made those comments.
The comments will be made later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what you said you talked to him. I thought you meant you talked to him after about those comments, yeah.
No.
I'm curious how you decompress after, you have such a bad performance. Do you what is there anything special that you do to kind of exercise those demons?
I think it's tough. I find after those kind of games, it's tough to sleep because there's a lot of the what ifs and I wish, or maybe if I did this versus that. But I would say the decompressing is I think after those kind of games it's tough.
Tua, what gives you confidence going into Sunday from what you've seen from the guys today that you'll take care of business here against the Patriots?
I think first off starts with what we talked about, our operation, and then over communicating. Guys knowing where to go, understanding what the play is with the concept, and then being in the right spots. And then defensively, while we had our own players meeting, defense got up there, kind of gave their spiel of the points of emphasis for what they want to do to accomplish this Sunday. And really, it was a collection of the guys to get the team together and get the guys together for a players meeting. And I think we did a really good job out there at practice. But at the end of the day, you can have the best practice, you can have the worst practice. Regardless of those, it won't guarantee you a win. So we got to come prepared.
You lost James Daniels 3 plays into Sunday. It seems like Austin Jackson is doubtful to play this week. What do you think of missing both starters potentially on the right side of your offensive line?
Yeah, that'll be tough, but this isn't an instance where this is the first time it's happened for us, where a new guy gets put in and we got to trust that he knows what he's doing, or he knows what he has to do in a certain protection or run game scheme. So I trust the guys that are going to be in there. They had some reps throughout training camp while I was in there. So, I got the utmost confidence in those guys.
Will there be any additional conversations with those guys just to make sure that they're on ready just for the season?
We've had conversations with them, but yeah, they've had some playing time. I would say Keon is kind of getting into everything and whatnot, kind of seeing what the fire was like last week. So I think he understands what is going to be asked of him this Sunday.
Do you see after a game like that, it almost feels like the outside fans, it's almost like the sky is falling, you lose a game like that. How do you guys react to that when you play as poorly as you did, and it feels like, such a big deal even though it's just one game?
I think it's hard for me because I don't see any of what you guys are talking about. I don't have any social media. I go home, I'm with my kids, with my family. Kids want to watch Disney Channel or Disney Plus, gonna put whatever's on for them. Then I'll play games with my wife while I'm there. So I wouldn't say I get to hear a lot of that or see a lot of that. But it doesn't matter anyways. Are they going to help us win the game? Are they going to help us lose the game? That starts within. And so if we can look at each other and look at the things that we can correct and things that we can help each other on to move forward, to hopefully get a win, this upcoming Sunday, I think that's what we should be focusing on.
So internally, you guys obviously built the whole offseason of trying to be a version of the team, a different team than last year. How do you prevent from maybe that internal doubt or guys saying, hey, I need to do more outside of my role to change the result we had week 1?
I think that's tough because as competitors, that's in a way that's sort of what got you here. But then now it's the trusting that I can't do this by myself. It's almost like golf. That when guys golf, that's on them whether they win or lose. Maybe you can throw their caddy in there, but tennis as well, right? Individual sport, whatever they need to do to help them win, that's on them. For us, if one guy makes a mistake, yeah, can we make it right? Sure, but that's not how this league works. Everyone knows their keys. Everyone knows what to do, where to go, where to be. And if one of us messes up, it can screw up the entire play, or, it can get us out of our flow and kind of where we don't want to be.
How do things change against the Patriots when Christian Gonzalez isn't in there?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's the top player in the league. When you don't have someone like that, it does help create some mismatches with our guys outside. But Vrabel has, we've played against them, and we never beat their team. So coming into this week, we know what's at stake. I mean, he got his guys coached up really well, and that's an opportunity for us this Sunday.
With Tyreek, it's been a full year since he's caught a pass over 30 yards. That's another issue that people are discussing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you do what the defense dictates to you, but how important is it to just give those deep shots so teams are forced to respect it?
Yeah, I think that's also important. Is continuing to take the shots downfield, whether the shell provides it or it doesn't, to then continue to keep them back and kind of like, man, regardless of what we're doing, like they're still throwing it deep. I think there's some merit to that, but it does that there's also a fine line, I think, where it does kind of get tough. Yeah.
It seems like a waste to throw. When teams are giving you those looks when it's like 3rd and 3, mm-hmm. and it's either take that or take the first down.
No doubt. Yeah.
That's the deciding factor.
I would say so, but I would say even on 3rd down too, given what teams do, it just depends, right? Like if they're doubling 10 and 17 and then allowing the other guys to, hey, we're going to stand on this. If they win their matchup, that's all right, as long as 10 and 17 don't beat us. So I think it's also one of those.
Tua, there was a play, I think, in the first half where the cameras caught Tyreek being animated, kind of vocal. Mm-hmm. Can you maybe educate us on maybe the reason why? People obviously want to make their assumptions.
Yeah. I would say a lot of it when Reek kind of came to me was like, hey, like, we need to get something going. And then he went back down the line, like from where he was with the running backs and then all those guys, and was just telling them to protect this dude. Like we need to make something happen. Things like that. That, I mean, wasn't nothing too crazy.
Last question.
So you're aware you haven't beat Mike Vrabel's team?
Yeah, of course.
Any rhyme or reason you think to why he's had success against the Dolphins?
I think with the way that they've played against us, they have their tricky 2 deals that they've played against us, and they found success and they kept it, and we just didn't make them pay for those, So they've done a great job with that, and we got to find ways.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks, guys.